Okay, so looking at this question 12 from the 2021 Matric AP Maths IEB paper, we have a trigonometric integral where the first thing we need to do is identify what the question is asking us to do in reverse, essentially. So oftentimes with trig integrals of this form, where you find two things multiplied to one another, your first thought should be, should I use integration by parts, partial fractions, or in the case of trig, how are you going to separate it by using some rule in reverse? So I've written it down already, the rule that this question asks you to look at in reverse. And this rule essentially breaks up the multiplication of the trig in terms of when you have a sine alpha and a cos beta. And that was the first step to getting you to solve this problem, is just simply identifying the type of question. And then from here, the rest of the integration becomes quite simple, because now that we know this, we can separate sine 5x and cos 4x. If we pull out the half, we can see that we can leave the half on the outside and then simply perform the inner integral, which is sine 9x plus just sine x, if we just compute that simple arithmetic. And now from here, this is a relatively simple one. We know that the integral of sine something is negative cos, without forgetting to do the reverse chain rule on the sine 9x. Don't forget that when you do something like you derive sine 9x, then you're going to get 1 over 9 out front, coming out from the chain rule. Sorry, not 1 over 9, just 9. When we're reversing it, we're going to pull out the 1 over 9. So from that, we're going to pull out the 1 over 9, and these all change to negatives when you do the integration of that, since it's opposite of differentiation, and that will give us negative 1 over 18 cos 9x minus a half cos x. And of course, plus c, since we know that integration gives us a family of solutions and not just a single solution. Hopefully that made a lot more sense. I definitely think the biggest places where you could have gotten caught out is by forgetting to reverse the chain rule with the sine 9x and potentially forgetting this good old-fashioned trig identity.